How's it going, everyone? My name is Jordan and I have been documenting building an online Pokemon card business. This isn't episode 3 of that. We have a few updates in the works that I can't wait to show you guys with that. But in the meantime, I thought it'd be a good idea to show you guys my own personal collection of what I've been building up over the last a little while, what I like to collect, some of my favorite cards and all that good stuff. So let's set up the cameras over here and I'll grab everything from the other room and then, yeah, show you guys what I have. So for context, I have been collecting cards now for all my life. Like I started with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokémon as a kid, a lot of football cards and all that good stuff. And I recently got back into it quite seriously within the last kind of year and a half. I originally started by collecting some Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, which I'll show you guys as well. But then as I slowly started getting back into that, then just because of going to card shows, I then started getting back into stuff like Pokemon a little bit more, and then I kind of evolved from there. Originally, I, as a kid, had a lot of base set, a lot of base set 2, and I actually still have those cards, and I'll show you guys in a second. But without further ado, let's start with some of these slabs that I own in my personal collection. I'll showcase them for you guys, and then we'll talk about kind of when I pick them up. So we have right here, which is my, I don't know if you can see this, but this is my big old stack of slabs. Now, I want to preface this by saying I do not have a very big collection. This is all that I've been kind of able to afford and buy for myself kind of over the last kind of year and a bit. So first off, I bought my first ever graded card a little over, I think it was, I'll find it here, a little over a year ago. And up until this point, never had kind of any graded cards. But the first one I picked up was... So this is my PSA 10 Japanese 151 Squirtle. I want to preface this by saying I buy a lot of these cards because I want them and I don't really buy them based off the value. So what you'll see here is the next kind of few that I picked up over the next few card shows. We have the PSA 10 in the... Oh, no, it's not that one next. Oh, excuse me. In the Charmander, right here. And then we have a PSA 10 in the, not even that one, in the Bulbasaur, right here. Now, I picked these up as a trio, and for context also, I buy almost all of my cards at card shows. I don't tend to pick them up anywhere else. I don't really buy cards online unless they're part of a bundle. I do this because this is how I personally just like to buy the cards. I think the process of hunting the cards down is so much more fun to me personally. And another thing is that I buy the Japanese cards just because I want to buy them for the artwork, and I really just quite like the fact that they are so much more affordable than the English counterparts. Now, that's nothing against the English counterparts, but I just want to buy them for the artwork. It was very obvious would be then to pick up the next set, which was the Evolution. So over the space of the next 2 to 3 card shows, we picked up the 151 in the Charmeleon. We picked up the 151 War Turtle and the 151 Ivysaur. Now, this was my kind of small goal as we kind of went to card shows. The goal is for me, when I visit these shows, is to pick up something for each part of the stuff I'm collecting, i.e. for a graded card, it was either pick up one of my slabs, one of the slabs I need to kind of complete my next part of my collection, or it would be to pick up a raw card for a collection that I'm working on as well, which I'll go into in a second. Next up, we have a thing that I've only just recently completed. Now, I knew that I wanted to pick up the full set of 9 evolutions of the starters as we kind of progressed. And the next card that I picked up, which was my biggest card purchase at the time, was this right here. This is my PSA 10 Japanese Charizard. Now, I kept with the theme of Japanese simply because I personally prefer the texture on them. I think the Japanese ones are by far a little bit nicer. And I also just love how these look. Like, they're just, as you can see, such a beautiful card. And obviously I had to get the orange slab protector for it right here. Next up, 150. I've just flung the slab across the room. Luckily, it's got a protector on. So next up, I pick up the Blastoise, as you can see here. I picked this up for a really good price. This was actually surprisingly hard to find, but as you can see, we picked that up. And then finally, this is the only card I feel like I bought because I had to, just to complete a collection. I'll be honest, like, it isn't my favorite card, but I had to get it anyway. This is the Venusaur in a PSA 10 as well. When I picked up the Squirtle, one of the cards that I wanted to get was either the Squirtle or this right here. This is the PSA 10 Ghastly from SV5K, or is it Tempora Forces, I want to say, in English. So this is the Japanese one. And the reason why I wanted to pick this up, because when I was a kid, the base set Ghastly was my favorite card. Don't ask me why. Base set Ghastly was like, I don't know what, it was just the card I wanted more than anything. I love that card. Now, when I say this card took me months to find in a PSA 10 in the Japanese, it took me so long. Like, next up, we have my favorite Pokemon, which is Gengar. I decided over the last few months to begin a Gengar collection. Now, Gengar is my favorite, and the first card that I picked up, and this is probably my favorite card in my entire collection, is this. This is the, I call this the Fusion Strike Gengar, but it's in Japanese, I don't think it is. It comes from a high-class deck. This is the PSA 10 Japanese Gengar. Now, I think you can see what's on that card now. Right there. So I bought this as a PSA 10, and then I took it to the Celtic Card Show and got it personally signed by none other than Ted. Is it Ted Lewis? This is where I'm kind of like completely just butchering it. Ted Lewis, I think, who is the voice actor for Gengar in the anime, and this is probably my favorite card in my collection by far. I adore this card. It means the world to me that I got it signed myself and I got to meet him. And yeah, this one is forever probably going to stay in my collection. I can't imagine ever selling this. The card itself isn't signed. It's just signed on the slab, but I don't really care because this is my personal grail, you could say. Now, obviously, it would have been cooler to get other stuff signed, but I think it just works so nice with that slab that, yeah, I love it. Next one being this right here. So this is from the same set as the Ghastly. So this is Tempora Forces, but in Japanese it's SV5K. I can't remember off the top of my head the name, but this is the EX, full art EX version. Next up, we picked up the Dark Phantasma full art Gengar with him sitting around the picnic, as you can see. Personally, love this card. And then finally for Gengar at the moment, before I show you binders, is this guy right here. This is my Chinese Gengar Mimikyu Alt Art Tag Team right here. Probably one of the coolest cards I think I own. Now, I picked up this card from a card show on my birthday for a really good price. The Japanese one of these go for like, I want to say £700+. Yeah, I picked this up for considerably less than that, and I've kind of been holding on to it for a while. I was kind of playing with the idea of selling it just because I wanted to try and see if I could get the Japanese version, but I think it is such a cool card for what it is that, you know, I personally can't complain, if I'm honest. Like, I love this card. I'm going to hold on to it for probably as long as I can. Like, another recent pickup was the Drowsy right here from Scarlet and Violet base, SV1V. Super nice card, especially with the red protector on it. We then also have, but I picked up this Tag 10 Chansey full art right there. Absolutely amazing. I'll talk about different grading companies in the future, but as you can see, I primarily collect PSA. Final slab that we have, I have this right here, which is the Stellar Crown Bulbasaur, but in Japanese. You can see that right there. It is such an incredible card. and I decided to pick this up. This was surprisingly rare to find in Japanese. I think I paid the total of £70 for this. But yeah, I want to show you guys some of the kind of raw collections that I've been working on over the last kind of couple of months, and what I like to buy at shows as well. First off, we have a collection that I've been building, and it is in this binder right here. Now, by the color, you can probably tell exactly what it is, but it's my very, very small collection of, right here, of Gengar cards. Now, I literally only have one and a bit pages now, but obviously this is kind of going to be built up over the next kind of couple of months. I haven't really been focusing on building this up. It's just kind of been in the background, and if I'm perfectly honest, I don't really buy a lot of cards at shows recently. I've only been picking up a couple. Next up, we have another top loader binder, as you can see right here. This is my collection of Japanese art rares. So a couple of notable favorites of mine are the Band Grimer. You can see I have a couple of cards that I already have in a PSA 10, but this is my way of collecting a bunch of my favorite artworks of the modern era, whilst also keeping it wallet friendly, shall we say. So I just pick up a bunch of the artworks that I like. I'll move this over. Some of my notable favorites are the Wailord, the Fuecoco, the Tatsugiri, the Slowpoke, the Loudred, the Gravard, because that has Gengar in it. And then a couple of the English ones are ones that I've pulled personally. And yeah, so we've got a few more in here. We've got one of my personal favorites, which is the Zekrom, the Cleffa, the Spheal. And then I've been only recently, within the last show or two, trying to slowly pick up some tag teams. Now, I only have 2 at the moment, but that is something that I'm hopefully going to be working on over the next kind of couple of months of picking those up. And yeah, super nice cards. But as you can see, this is kind of my collection at the moment. Next, we have probably the main set that I'm working on in this beautiful yellow Voltex binder is my Japanese 151 master set. Now, this is a current work in progress. We have just a few more Pokeballs to go, and then we'll be jumping on to the Master Balls. But as you can see, we have a decent amount of these cards. We've been slowly picking these up, and I tell you what, these Pokeballs are surprisingly hard to find at the moment. So we've got the majority of the Pokeballs. I'd say we probably need around 10 to 15 more. And then, as you can see, go through that. And then we have pretty much all of the full arts for the set. We only need 2 more EXs. And then a couple more of the SIRs. But yeah, that is kind of a set that I am working on as well. And yeah, let's wrap the video up, and then I'll talk to you guys about what we've got coming next. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed that kind of mini showcase of my collection. It isn't the biggest collection, but I thought I owe it to you guys to kind of show you where my own stuff is at and kind of what I like to buy. Now, obviously, I want you guys to keep in mind that I buy this stuff because I like it. I buy Japanese stuff because I think it's just better value for money for the budget that I have for myself. So people might have their opinions on that. I personally, that's how I like to collect. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot more cards that I tried to pick up within reason for my budget. Obviously, this is all dependent on disposable income, which is tough when you have a mortgage and bills and all that good stuff, but we try our hardest to spend the money we can. And the majority of my pickups I do try and get in person. I very rarely buy online if I can avoid it, just because I really enjoy the process of going to card shows and meeting people and having that interaction in person. Yeah. But without further ado, thank you so much for watching. Keep tuned for some really cool updates with regards to the Pokemon business over the next kind of week or two. We have a few crazy things coming up, and I'm so excited to show you guys. But yeah, thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya!